Well, let us get right to it. But I will just do a small detour because I have no issue with the letter per se, but I would defend Rinder a little bit on the toxicity thing. I think people are misunderstanding that. The way I took it is that he seems to be getting into some Buddhism, and I know Buddhism a little bit, so maybe by that he means getting rid of, quote, negative energy, right? Karma, and having better karma, and better karma will help heal his body. And there we are. But now let us get on to what Virginia wrote, which was very short, but very devastating, and got right to it. Namely that, all right, I understand you're dying. Fine. You want to clear the record. Let's clear the record. Me and my family have suffered for decades. We wanted help. We need help. And it seems pretty clearly that OSA and Scientology has been running a series of black operations. Why aren't you talking about it? And who are the McLaurys? Well, that would take a very, very big video, so I will have to be selective. But essentially, they are whistleblowers who emerged most prominently in the late 90s, but they've been here a while. Both Mike and Virginia have been, quote, in Scientology and out of Scientology for a very long time, and they know a lot of people. You'd probably be stunned at how many people they know and how many parts of this history they are part of. And although I've had a falling out with Dana, Rotting Jewels, Dana did a very touching video on Virginia, and I've been trying to get to it for a long time, and I still will. And there are some pretty interesting photos of Virginia in her younger years. In any case, the deeper topic with Rinder is not, I think, the way it's usually being posed. And because Aaron is now celebrating, guys, my SPTV Foundation has the IRS. Let's go through the cartoon history. Because it's by knowing the cartoon history, we can get a little bit to the real history. So Aaron and Serge, of course, and Nora, although Nora here is actually a little less worse, keep talking about alleged crimes that Rinder has done. And believe me, there's no doubt there are credible accusations. But what they want to focus on, and it just shows how jaw-droppingly stupid they are, is, for instance, Serge focused on a video where Rinder brags that he knows the Masterson family. We'll put aside, by the way, Serge knows the Masterson family. Yeah, Serge knows the Masterson family. But anyway, complete hypocrisy. And Rinder's like, yeah, oh yeah, I knew Masterson's mama. I know the mama. I was with the mama. We were on the OTs. And Serge is like, no, Mr. Rinder, she was not on the OTs. And that to them is anti-Scientology. Is like, oh, it was horrible. I hung out with Danny Masterson in a Hollywood party. And Serge is like, I need the real truth, Rinder. I need the real truth, Rinder. And I need it now. I need to know about you and Danny in a hotel room with Tom Cruise and Miscavige and 100 children. I need to know that truth now. And listen, if you think Rinder was in some weird hotel room with Danny Masterson and Tom Cruise and David Miscavige and 50 children, good on you. You live your life. You put on a clown suit. You waste 30 years of your life. There's nothing there. These things have been examined for decades and decades. And let's be very clear. Miscavige is a neo-Nazi nutcase. He's a fanatical, psychopathic maniac. But is he a PDF? The overwhelming evidence is no. He's a psychopath. He seems to just enjoy grabbing people and brutalizing them. Though I will give him this. With women, he's a little bit more careful. He's prone to shake them. But as far as I know, we don't have on record, he would literally just, straight out attack. He prefers to just grab them and shake them. And there you go. So he's definitely what he is. He's a violent, psychopathic thug. But is he a PD? Who the hell cares? And that is the dilemma, is that Rinder's legacy has been to mislead people into focusing on a cartoon history. Is the Danny Masterson case important? Of course it is. It is. But it's only one of many, many scandals. And at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it is a minor scandal because it is not threatening the church. It is not threatening the church at all. At worst now, what happens? If they lose a civil suit, they lose $20 million. That's chump change to them. It will not affect Scientology in any way. But there are cases, there are episodes of history that the church might be worried about. That's what Virginia knows about. That's what Mike knows about. That's what Jerry Armstrong knows about. That's what Jesse, Doug Scott Kramer, and real whistleblowers know about. They know about this much more dark, real history of Scientology, which is just as disturbing and is, yes, very Hollywood-centric. So if you ask the question, were the devil worship people, the Hollywood people, Scientology people, and CIA people all mixed up? The answer is yes. There is a weird, distorted, mutated history of the CIA, Satan, Hubbard, and all that coming together. But you have to handle that history carefully, right? Because it does sound really too ridiculous. And you say, well, what's the difference? The difference is one is true, one is factual. One is based on verified sources. Now, again, I'm not saying I agree with Mike or Virginia on everything. Again, when you study the CIA or OSA or Satanism or Nazism, you're going to go into some very weird places and you have to exercise judgment. Like, for instance, did the Nazis have various programs into the occult? Absolutely. But many other Nazis didn't care about that, had nothing to do with that. It's a very big, complex phenomena. You have to be careful with the facts. The most generous assumption here is, and here I'm on Rinder's side, is that Rinder is trying to correct some idealism regarding Aaron Smith-Levin. And I agree. Aaron has been misleading people. Serge has been misleading people. Nora has been misleading people. And it's a clever trick, and it works, is that Rinder is limiting the discussion to, he's framing things to a scandal where he looks better. And he does. So you do have these idiots. And this one woman in particular is completely crazy. It's like Rinder is playing a Hubbard game with Aaron because he still loves Hubbard. Yeah, okay, maybe. Or he's just being very savvy. He knows how the media works. And he's doing a good thing saying, Aaron is not a credible person. If you listen to his stuff, you better do so with a lot of caution. I agree. So there he did something good. He also did something good with Emily Armstrong. He confirmed that Gail Armstrong is a dedicated Scientologist. He knows Gail Armstrong. Way before you or I knew about Emily, he knew about Emily. He knows that family. So there again, he did something good. But that's the key question. Why is he willing to be a whistleblower here, but not over here? Is it ego? Is it the money? Is it contracts? Is he delusional? Are other people controlling him? I don't know. But we just have a consistency that over and over again, when he tells the history, large, and I do mean large gaps keep showing up. There are just years and years where Jerry was fighting the church, doesn't talk about it. Mike and Virginia were fighting the church, doesn't talk about it. Jesse was fighting the church, doesn't talk about it. Is it a complete media blackout? No. He will sometimes bring these people up, but the history is very distorted. And it's being distorted again. Now, it may be distorted in a good way because Aaron has created these scandals and scams, and that's his problem. If Rinder is throwing light on them, that's good. But people are missing the larger picture. But I cannot force you to know anything. All I can say is please support these people and come in with an open mind because it is very valuable, powerful research. I don't agree with all of it, but it is very powerful. And I think last year they did have a bit of a financial crisis, and I think they're in a better place, but I don't know them that well. So reach out to Virginia. She's on Twitter, and just approach her respectfully. And I think she's more than willing to answer many questions. And I can't lie, I've gone through something very recently. I may be having to ask for assistance. And listen, it's okay if you think I failed, the McGlories failed, Doug failed, or Jesse failed at seriously educating you, but we tried. Rinder isn't trying to seriously educate people. What he's doing is a lot better than Aaron, and a lot better than Nora, and definitely a lot better than Diana Nutcase. He's way better than them, but I don't think that's good enough, in my humble opinion. And so Virginia is right to ask for, we need more than this. I think she's right to ask for more.